Hello, everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of the Moderately Athletic Podcast. As always, I am your host, Sam, and like every week, I am joined by the three most incredible boys, Tyler, Hayden, and Mr. Decker. Fellas, what's going on?
Thank you for that intro.
Of course. I love saying it.
Hayden, do you want to tell the great
Well, yeah, tell us about the softball.
The great news?
Decker and I, as you guys heard last week, we're in a championship, semi-championship game this week.
For fifth place?
I'm not exactly sure what place, but we won the lower bracket. I don't really know how many teams were in the upper bracket, but...
Oh, heck yeah.
We won the game, 18 to...
18-15.
18-15?
Ooh. That's pretty close.
It was brutal on the eyes out in left field, I'll tell you that. I couldn't see anything. Sun was glaring, but it was a beautiful day. Can't complain.
Wait, you play left field?
Yeah.
What's the position that the really bad kid plays in Little League? Is that left field?
Oh, that's right field.
Right field.
Oh,
Right field.
okay, Hayden, you're safe. I just wanted to make sure. Well, an equally exhilarating news, I played bingo today,
Okay.
and
So
I
you
put
won.
in $20, and I got out $21.
Nice.
So,
That's
making
profit.
money. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
They might have to shut down the bar.
Gosh, they're so slow though. No, it was 5 to 8 minutes in between every game because they take your money for each round and give you cards, and I guess they're just bad at math because I don't know. It takes forever. I don't get it, but that's not what we're here to talk about. This is not the moderately bingo cast. This is the moderately. We're a football podcast, so with that in mind, we're going to talk about football. But this is not your average football conversation. No. These are going to be our 2024 hot takes. Each moderately athletic boy has prepared 3 takes, 12 in total. And these are in 3 levels. First, we're going to start off with our warm takes. These are those nice bowls of porridge on a cold winter's night. Comforting, but certainly above average take. Then we're going to get into our certified hot takes. These are those takes that are going to make you say, ooh, that was kind of hot. But then, last but certainly not least, we have the creme de la creme. We have the super spicy takes. These are those very, very potent, really just scorch your tongue, burn your headphones kind of hot.
Chug
These
some
are
milk.
chug some milk, boys, because this is that spice that's illegal in 9 countries. That's how hot it is. So you better strap in because we're gonna get nice and spicy up in here. So
Was that all off the dome?
no, I practiced that a couple times.
Just wondered.
Yeah,
It was worth it.
I wanted to have
I was
something
just
pretty
curious.
good to share.
I guess it just goes to
Yeah.
show, practice doesn't always make perfect.
I got the gist,
Well,
though.
we're gonna.
It was,
I mean, I got the
yeah.
gist,
it
but
was in the right spirit. Yeah.
it was no A+ work. But yeah, I'm in the
well,
right realm.
What's the grade,
of
Tyler?
thinking.
What's the grade?
I
What's
mean,
the
honestly, C+. I thought it was just average intro into the podcast today, Sam. I think you
Oh.
came out a little flat, honestly, and I think luckily there's room to improve. Okay, so
It is only the 4th episode.
this is true.
Time.
We have at least 3 more in us.
At least 3.
This is true. Well, thank God I'm the editor because I'm cutting all of that out.
Bruh.
We're gonna go into
And we're back.
and we're back. All right. Well, we certainly didn't talk about anything. Let's get into the warm takes. Who wants to start?
I didn't rank mine in spiciness, so someone else should probably go first because I gotta pick which one I gotta start with.
I'll go first, unless you want to, Decker.
No, you can lead off. It's fine.
Okay. My first hot take. It's a little warm. As Sam says, it's a nice satiating bowl of porridge. Did you say? Yes, porridge.
Porridge.
Yes. For my first hot take, I have the Atlanta Falcons missed the playoffs with a top 10 offense. I really like what the Falcons have done offensively. I love the strength of their offense being that line. I think if anyone sets up their team the way that the Falcons have, at least on offense, you can really do some damage. Now, a lot of this hinges on Kirk's health coming off the torn Achilles, but if everything goes correctly for this Falcons, especially in Kirk's rehab, I think with a new system coming in, from specifically like the McVay tree, you open up the field for Kirk, and then, do we even need to bring up the weapons? London, Pitts, Bijan, that three-headed monster in the skill room. I would take that wide receiver, tight end, running back combo up against a lot in this league. I would say that's probably top 10, if not top 5 in the league for those three positions combined. So I expect a lot out of this offense. Now comes the downside for the Falcons. It's this defense. They have done very little outside of day 2 and 3 draft picks the last couple years of really bringing anyone in. Well, I guess, and they did sign Jesse Bates to play their safety. But I don't see this defense performing at like even mediocre levels. I think that this defense, specifically this front seven, are really, really going to be bad this year, and I think that's eventually going to be the downfall of the Falcons.
Yeah, no, that's certainly possible. Well, it's like that one time where it wasn't the Chargers had the number one offense and defense, but then it was their special teams were just so bad that they missed the playoffs as well. So we've certainly seen crazy stuff like that happen before. So
I saw they brought in Justin Simmons on a visit, or are going to be bringing him in on a visit, which would be pretty huge.
Yeah, I like him. If they, completely theoretical, I like him. Obviously just hasn't lived up to that first round draft pick. That really wouldn't sway me any direction to how this defense performs. But I really like Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, and Grady Jarrett as kind of like the three-headed monster on the defense. It's just the rest of this team is just very poor, and at least defense, excuse me. And they didn't really do a whole lot to prove that they can be a successful team or defense in the regular season last year. So again, I think that this offense is gonna be very explosive, and this defense is really gonna hinder them come playoff time.
Yeah. No, that's certainly something I could see happening. So that is a good, warm take.
Thank you.
Of course. I would give that an A+.
Hooray!
I'm just a nice guy like that.
Well, you can be critical, Sam. It's okay. Hot takes are you're meant to get a little heat from them, like no pun intended.
Well, yeah, I certainly think that as we go along, we should have some more arguments to make. But I think you made a sound argument, so I'm not going to fight you on that.
I'm just too good, is what I'm
a
hearing.
lover, not a fighter.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, after that moment,
Cut
Decker
that.
or Hayden,
Just
you
cut
guys feeling ready to go?
I'm good to go.
Go
It's
ahead.
up to Sam.
Well, Hayden, go ahead.
You got all your.
You go ahead.
You got it ranked. Everything spiciness
Okay.
level.
Yeah. So my first one is that Sam Darnold brings the Vikings to a winning record, possibly the playoffs, and is a top 15 quarterback this season. And then I couldn't just end at that. I had a little spice on the mind, so I kept going and said, so Sam Darnold starts next year he earns himself a job for either the Giants, Browns, or Rams when they draft a new quarterback as another bridge guy like he did with the Vikings.
I think as a rule, we should exclude the word possibly in any hot takes.
Well, I think, if you got a winning record,
it's either yes or no.
Okay, then yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a winning record, so yes, he'll take him to the playoffs. Top 15 QB stats-wise. Starts next year for Giants, Browns, or Rams. Because I think all those teams... And that Rams is coming up later. Why? I think they'll need a new quarterback.
Yeah, I mean...
I'll make my argument here, if you'll allow me. So,
I'd love to hear it.
His best season as a starter was 2019. As a Jet, he went 7-6 in 13 games. On that team, his number one receiver was Robbie Chosen. And if you just look at the comparison over, we got JJ. So number two receiver was Jamison Crowder. We have Jordan Addison. I don't know, obviously, how many or if he will be suspended. We'll see.
If he ain't drinking, he's better. I'd say that.
Yeah. They had Ryan Griffin at tight end. We have Hawkinson. I know he's not going to play week 1. I don't know how long he'll be out, but eventually he'll have Hawkinson. He had old-ass Le'Veon Bell in 2019. And then the 28th ranked offensive line, whereas the Vikings, as of last year, had the 13th. Or as of going into this year, whatever. The Jets had the 16th ranked defense that year in points allowed, whereas the Vikings just came off the 14th best in the league. So that's, pretty much a wash there. And then Adam Gase was the head coach for the Jets in 2019. And as a head coach, he went 32-48, which is 400 average. And KOC is, in his short career, 20-14 with a 588 average. So I just think the scenario is there for him to step up and just flow with the offense. Because if you look at almost every scenario from that 2019 year to this year, it's almost a sweep of everything just fits him better and is made to help him succeed better than that Jets team did in 2019. And I think all of us had the Vikings at least 6 wins and the highest of maybe 8 or 9. We were all in there somewhere. So to make the playoffs, they'll just be 3 to 5 more wins, So it's not, I don't think it's a crazy hot take. I think it's mild, like we said we'd start with. So
yeah,
that's kind of what I think. I think he can hold his own.
I think, there's really no comparison between the Jets of 2019 and the Vikings of 2024 in really any way. Adam Gase, man, that's a name you want to forget if you're a Jets fan. So,
yeah, crazy eyes.
Yeah, there you go, Deck. Yeah.
Yeah. Who did they sign Salo right after that? They must have.
Yeah, Gase went.
I think it was the
he
year
went through
after,
2020, and then
so
2021 was solid.
Yeah. But
and then Gase has not sniffed the NFL since then.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, real quick. Here's to rain on the parade a bit. We've seen what a below average quarterback does in this KOC offense. They put up numbers, but they also turn the ball over a lot. I think that was through any backup, and at this point in his career, Darnold has been mostly the backup option for some team. Obviously he's had to start for some teams, but he was just the cheap older guy, I guess, then. So I really don't
sign him over Nick Mullins for a reason. He's better than Nick Mullins.
I would agree with that.
Yet, yeah.
You've seen Darnold play before, and I think that even with the bad surroundings he has had, he's really never shown flashes that he can be more than mediocre. I think I think guys in bad situations.
But you have to agree this is a bad situation. He
Oh,
will be.
most definitely.
It's a take, you know. It's a little mild take. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
Right.
I'm just saying the situation is there.
Yeah, I think the situation is there. I just think that Darnold just hasn't and won't be able to lead this team to a winning record. And unfortunately, it looks like little baby boy. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Your little baby boy.
Oh, it's JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy. Gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, horrible news today.
Yeah, so I guess your only option is.
It is going to be Darnold. I hope that
I mean, hopefully it's just like a trim.
With that.
They just got the trim part of it off, but
No. I want them to go with the full repair, the 4 to 6 months, dude. I don't want them to.
Dude, just rub some dirt on it and get out there. What is with this needing
just
surgery?
Give him a year to heal up.
I thought meniscus weren't that long. I thought it was just like...
There is a shorter option.
There's 2
8 to 10 weeks or something.
It was 4 to 6 weeks or 4 to 6 months. One of them was more of like a...
invasive,
yeah, like a trim, you said, and the other one was more like a full repair. Mm-hmm. But even if 4 to 6 weeks, like, I don't know. I feel like you might as well just go with the full repair and prepare for next year. You know, let him get his full year like some people thought he was anyway.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind that because I wouldn't really want him to start. But granted, you know, if Sam Darnold does end up really sucking, which I mean, Hayden, I do think that there's a great possibility that you will be right, simply because since that season he's been in a lot of better situations. I mean, like probably learning under like Kyle Shanahan for what was that 2 seasons probably helped.
Yeah,
I think a fair amount. So.
And like he won the job over Lance there. I know that doesn't say anything because Lance
is losing to Ben DiNucci right now.
Yeah, but like you know, he still earned a job on the team with Shanahan. So like he was there in all those meetings. He saw a team win a lot those years.
Yeah,
if he can just go out there and be fucking Purdy, you know, a little bit not as good as Purdy, but just something like that. Just distribute the ball.
Yeah, no, it depends on how like KOC can scheme with him. I don't think he's gonna win any games on his back. He's gonna have to be
right. Yeah.
Helped a lot in terms of the play calling. So
he won 7 games with, you know, the same-ish defense and a horrible O-line. So I'm just saying he's been there for. Tyler likes to use that argument that Flores, you know, has coached the worst team in the league or whatever, the defense. Darnold has had a record where he won more games than he lost on a horrible team.
I mean, we can both agree that wins are not a quarterback stat, but
it's a take. It's not a prediction. It's just
I think it's a good warm porridge.
Yeah, it's a warm one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, Decker, I think I'm gonna. Oh, sorry, Tyler.
I was just gonna say that's a nice bowl of chunky soup in between classes.
Campbell's chunky soup
in the wintertime.
That sounds pretty good.
A known Wontok delicacy.
Oh yeah. Oh man, in the winter, you gotta love that Campbell's chunky soup. We're not sponsored, but I'd love to be. I'm gonna jump to mine quick, just because I don't know. I feel like having heard your boys' mine's a little underwhelming, so I want to get mine in there. It's warm, but it's nothing. It's nothing crazy. I think
it's okay.
My warm take is that Jared Goff will win Most Valuable Player for this upcoming season.
That's a good
I
one.
believe this because I don't believe he's in any of the betting odds, but with the team that is around him, I think he can do a very good job. He has a great O-line. He has great weapons in Laporta and Amon-Ra. And if word out of camp is true that Jamison Williams is able to take that step and he can have a really reliable deep threat to throw to, I think that's going to be great for him as well to put up tons of touchdowns, tons of stuff. And also he has a great run game to rely on. Granted, Jahmyr Gibbs just died today from a hamstring injury. But we still got David Montgomery. Oh, yeah, I think that was just earlier today, or was that yesterday? I don't remember.
That was today.
but that was today.
Yep.
Okay. So, but he'll be back. No, but in any case, it's still got Demont. He's more than solid. So, I think that this team can put up the best record. I think that a lot of voters can look at Goff's past resume of making really deep playoff runs and think, well, maybe there is something to this guy. Maybe he is the most valuable player. So, I think Jared Goff has a good chance to win the most valuable player for this season.
I don't hate it. I think it could definitely happen.
Yeah, I mean, you pointed out the one thing I would say is just that team has got a lot of stars on it, so he'd have to really shine, but I respect it.
It's like the Purdy tax.
Yeah.
Like, we knew he was an MVP because of the weapons. So, or the team
that's-
surrounding him.
Yeah.
If there's two guys in the MVP race on the same team, it's never one of the other one. It's it's only one.
Yeah.
You can only
It's
have
never the right one.
Yeah, but really what it would take is, well, because I think a lot of the things that, like, people dog on Purdy for is that he doesn't have a lot of, like, deep touchdown throws. Like, it's a lot of, what was the stat where it was all of his passes were, like, 20 yards or less or something on a game?
Oh,
one
yeah,
time?
he had, like, no Yeah, I know exactly. It was the Ravens game when they were trailing big time. He had no passes over 20 yards, air yards, and then, like, all of them were within, like, 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. He just can't push the ball down the field.
Yeah, so I think that, Goff can maybe shake those comments if he is able to find that deep threat in Jameson Williams and then really get some, like, big throws and have a couple games where he puts the team on his back or so it appears to be. So I think it's in the realm of a warm possibility.
Like I just put on a blanket.
It's so good.
All right,
Okay.
I'm ready to hear Decker's. He looks like he's been been cooking.
He's patiently waiting.
Has he been itching? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm itching a little, but not too bad for this first one. Again, it's a little hands over the fire, just to get them a little warmed up. But
Get them piggies warm.
yes, because mine is one that's like, it's gonna be a favorite this year to happen. Obviously, I think they are the favorites, but I'm gonna stick by it. I think that this year the Chiefs do the three-peat and win another Super Bowl. The only big loss of the offseason was trading L'Jarius Sneed, but in Spags' defense, someone's going to step up at corner. You still got McDuffie that's elevating his game. Entire defense outside of that stays the same, and offense only gets better. You had Xavier Worthy, you had Hollywood Brown, Pacheco's still there, Kelsey's still going to do his thing. I just think that this Chiefs team is just meant to do it in a way, and I think that after we watched this past Super Bowl, it's like all the adversity they went through through the year, where some people thought at one point they might lose the division, they're going to get bounced right away in the playoffs, and they work their way through it and just win it all again. So I think they have proven that any obstacle they can overcome, and I think this year just offense gets a little bit better too, and I think they do it. I really think that three-peat finally happens for the first time in 20 years.
God damn it, you're probably right, Deck, but I would hate it if you were.
I hope I'm not right in a way, because like I don't want to watch another the Chiefs in there again, especially if it was like 49ers Chiefs, but
Yeah.
I don't know, I just think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, they're the best team. It's theirs to lose. It's like, because you used to always have the phrase Super Bowl hangover, like where like once you get done, you just don't play as well the next year. But this is a team that they've already won so much, so it's like that clearly does not seem to affect them. So, well, all right. I guess we're all in agreement. I thought maybe someone was going to chime in, but that's okay. Because
they make that AFC Championship game every single year. So
Yeah.
they'll be
I mean
there.
that kind of piggybacks off of my second hot take. So do you mind if I take it over for my hot take?
I will let you take us up to that next level of hot take, Tyler.
I'm honored.
Take us off.
Decker just gave, the case for the Chiefs for the three-peat, so I'm just going to say ditto what Decker said, and say that the Chiefs become the second team to ever pull off a perfect season. No losses.
Damn.
I think
beginning of the year slump for him this year.
No, and even if they do, I'm not worried about it because three of their toughest games happen within the first 6 weeks of the season. They have the Ravens week 1, Bengals week 2, and then the 49ers week 6. Their last 6 games,
the last down there somewhere.
Bills, yes, they do have the Bills. I'm a little lower on the Bills this year, but the last 6 games, it's Broncos, very winnable. Steelers, very winnable. Texans could put up a pretty good fight, winnable. Chiefs are against the Browns, winnable. Chargers and Raiders. So even if they do hit that end of the year slump that they sometimes do, if they hit it in the their seventh to last game is against the Panthers. So if they were to hit this slump after that Bills game, their next 3 are the Panthers, Raiders, and Chargers to kind of get back into it before they play the Browns and the Texans. So Decker said it well in his three-peat, and I just there's not a whole lot of holes you can poke in this Chiefs roster, and the ones that you can, they make up for in very good coaching. So I think that they have the best chance right now to not only three-peat, but get that perfect season. Also, just as a hypothetical, if someone gave you 50-50 odds, you can either pick the Chiefs or the field, right? You would be crazy to pick the Chiefs, right? It doesn't feel like that, like as much for the Chiefs as it has for past Super Bowl winners. Like they're in a very rare space right now in the way people look at them and the way that their team is. So I think this is like just one of those teams where you have to stop and think, do I really want to go with the field when the Chiefs have been so dominant and still look so good? I just think that was it. That's an interesting brain thought.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, same as I said with Dak. Chiefs are gonna be the Chiefs, and they're gonna do Chief things. All right. Let's. You know what? I'm gonna go.
You go.
Because I want to.
You go.
All right. Here's my hot take. I believe that Nick Sirianni will be fired mid-season this year. I think that you look at how the Eagles ended last season, which, what was it like? They went 1-6 to end the year, and they only beat the Carolina Panthers, who were really bad. And that was an excellent roster. It is an excellent roster. It's going to be an excellent roster again this year. But I think that there is the chance that they're going to come out to a similar start that was their ending last year. Because, you look at their schedule. You got the Packers to start out. That's certainly a tough matchup. You got the Falcons. Could be tough if that offense gets churning. Then you have the Saints. So they win that one. But then you got the Buccaneers and the Browns. I mean, the Bucs give them tough times in the past. The Browns' defense is really good. Giants, they'll win. But then you got the Bengals, and then you got the Jags and the Cowboys. And those are all really tough games that they could potentially come out on the wrong side of. I mean, especially if they come out as flat as they were in the back half. And we point out how their coordinators have gotten better. We say, Vic Fangio, and we say Kellen Moore. But, I mean, Kellen Moore, I don't think he's that great. Vic Fangio, he's been job hopping around for a long time. He's not as great as he used to be. So, if these coordinators do not give Sirianni the type of support that he clearly needs, because he's really kind of a loose cannon who seems to be like a player motivator. He's like Dan Campbell, but insanely less likable. So, I think that if this talented roster comes out to a potentially 3-6 or 3-7 record to start the season, I think that Howie Roseman knows the team that he's built, and there's rumors he wants to bring in Bill for next season potentially to coach this team. I think that Sirianni might get the axe by mid-season.
That one actually crossed my mind when I was thinking of predictions too, because to your points too, Sam, like what if both these coordinators fail? And we know how he does when coordinators fail. We saw it last year. And it just seems like, I don't know, the chemistry within the team just seems so weird. Like, I don't know how, you hear reports about him and Hurts's chemistry being a little fractured, but if that's true or not, but the reports about it still, it's like, yeah, it just seems like he's a little off with the team.
Yeah, it's a lot of blame game going on, and something I didn't mention was that we have seen Roseman fire coaches, who have had great success, like Doug Peterson. Was he fired mid-season? I thought he wasn't he?
Nope.
Or
remember Doug Peterson's
no, was
last
not.
game? He decided to start Nick Foles, not Jalen Hurts or something. It was the last week.
Yeah, right.
And people didn't like that.
I forgot about that. Yeah, but we've seen him, can people who have been successful because they just were because they had a bad season. And so this might be another bad season. It could be bad enough where he does, potentially.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head there with that Dan Campbell, but less likable comparison. I mean, honestly, I don't know what he adds to this team. Just and it's the head coach. Like, is he that good at planning and organizing that he's that important? I mean, it seems like Big Dom, the dude on the sideline, is more important than him.
Yeah, that's when it fell apart, was when they kicked off Big Dom.
Yeah, so I like the coordinators around him, and I think that's why he's gonna succeed and keep his job this year. But yeah, I mean, I do have problems with Kellen Moore, so we'll have to see how that goes with that offense.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Let Decker. We'll go with Decker this time. What are you thinking here, pal?
All right. For my second one, I have one of either Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, or Puka Nacua will break the all-time receiving record and break 2,000 yards. First ever receiver to break 2,000 yards. I think one of those three is going to be the one to do it. We've seen in the past couple years, especially Cooper Kupp flirted with it. It's Triple Crown year. JJ 2 years ago. Tyreek last year. CD was up there as well. Someone's bound to break it one of these years. And I think that Tyreek he's always motivated to do it. He always brings it up. And then I think with the Bengals offense this year, I think the Burrow and Chase connection, as long as both of them are healthy, playing at the top of their game, Jamar is going to be force-fed. And then Puka, I mean, we saw with Stafford. Stafford got a Kupp close to that a couple years ago. Now, I'm if Puka were to get this close, I think a Kupp injury would have to happen. Don't want to pray for his injury or anything, but I think Puka is starting to overtake Kupp's importancy a little bit after what he showed his rookie year. So, I just feels like one of these years it just has to happen, and I'm gonna say
it feels like this is the year.
Yeah,
it feels like this
those
is
three.
the year.
Someone's gonna do it.
Yeah,
I think we said that every year for the past 3 years, but
someone's due.
I mean,
Sam.
yeah, I agree. It has to happen.
Someone's due. We're due. But
can you say it the way you always say it, Tyler? Please.
Maybe as a treat at the end.
Okay.
Okay. It'll be like a nice cool treat after you've had a spicy chicken wing, Sam. It'll cool you,
You know what?
down.
We're gonna need that. We're gonna need that at the end of this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Um,
But yeah, no, I agree with that.
I agree. Sorry, I agree with Decker. I think that, I mean, if someone's gonna do it, it's one of those three. Except, I disagree with Puka. I would throw CD in there instead. I think he's got a much better chance than Puka. I just think even if Cup was gone, I just don't think he's really got that ability to like those other three do. But I like the
Yeah, a
take.
receiver like Puka would definitely need that similar volume that he had, and that was an insane amount of catches he was getting.
Yeah,
to start that year.
And yeah, he finished with, what was it? Yeah, he finished like with rounded up 1,500 last year, so he'd have to get up an extra 500, but he was just a fun one I thought of to like maybe throw in there.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, I think he could definitely be that new guy there. So, I think he will be. So, all right, Hayden, take us off.
Right. Honestly, I mean, both of these last ones are pretty spicy, so we could just kick off the spicy tier of this episode if you want, because I mean, both of these are kind of wild. I was getting
well, that's cheating, but fine.
Okay. Well, this is kind of all right. So my second one is that it is also a Chiefs-related one. Xavier Worthy records the most rookie receiving yards this season, and he already said to not say possibly. I'll just say it. Fuck it. Breaks Puka's record from last year. Might as well, if you're going to say he has the most yards, just go to that record. It's been broken 3 of the last 4 years. It's just a offensive league, you know. It keeps getting more offensive, and these young studs keep coming out of nowhere and just putting on a show right off the bat. Hollywood Brown just got hurt, so that'll help him get more reps out there. The Rashee Rice situation, we don't really know exactly what's going to happen yet. I just looked into it today, and there's still no like confirmed suspension or anything. Kelsey's only getting slower and older. Obviously, still Kelsey. He's going to be taking a lot of receptions away from Worthy, but he's not that kind of like high reception volume kind of guy. He's just more of that threat, and he can just break one at any time. And I think he'll have plenty of 100-yard games with maybe just a couple big catches that'll do it. So yeah, I mean, I don't think Neighbors is getting it on the Giants. I don't think there's not going to be 1,400 yards of offense all year on that team. So I don't know how he's going to get that many yards. Adunze, I mean, it's definitely possible. He's a beast, but he's surrounded by also a lot of other weapons that they've got. So, and
plus that would have to
rookie.
be. That would also have
It is
to
a
be like
rookie
a
QB
historic
there.
rookie quarterback. Yeah, that'd have to be
Yeah.
historic rookie quarterback year as well. So
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of ruling him out. And also another guy I thought of, Coleman on the Bills. But he's basically like a wide receiver 1 there. So like he's going to be getting a lot of. I mean, they got Curtis Samuel. I mean, those are their best 2, I think. Looking into it, so he's not going to be able to like sneak around as a rookie. I think he's just going to be a starter right off the bat, and people are going to have to keep him in check. And then the only other one, Marvin Harrison Jr., that I think he definitely could possibly beat Xavier Worthy this season in yards. But honestly, if they both can do it, that just makes it more fun to watch anyway. But I'll just stick with Xavier Worthy just because we all saw what Tyreek did on that team. Just a weapon, and you know Mahomes has the best vision in the league, and he knows the weapons he's got. So he's only going to get more and more snaps as the season goes on. So
I feel like
potential's there.
I feel like this is only like a spicy take because Marvin Harrison is also in the same draft class. I mean, he's like the clear favorite.
It's more of just breaking Puka's record. That's like the hotter part of it.
The receptions
But,
or
yeah.
the yards?
The yards, yeah. He
Yeah.
had like 1458, I think, is the record. After he beat Jamar's, and then Jamar beat Justin Jefferson in 2020. So 3 of the last 4 years it's been broken.
I think that's definitely a hot take. I will say though, I am because I'm basing my opinion off of one practice clip that I saw. I'm worried about.
Yeah, I did see that one.
Worthy about getting like he's getting thrown around in practice. He's not
like
a very big guy.
He's like one of the tiniest like wide receivers to play in the NFL ever. He's like, is he like a $150?
Yeah, I don't know how much he weighs, but I was curious because I did see that clip, so I looked like what his height and weight was. I forgot the weight, but he was 5'11". So yeah, I don't know. He just obviously he is a rookie, so he should just get bigger as his career goes on. I don't know about before the season, but
yeah, opportunity is definitely there.
He's still an NFL wide receiver.
Make sure to text Andy Reid to make sure he's drinking milk at every meal. Whole milk.
Yeah.
Whole milk for Xavier Worthy.
Keep those bones strong. Fairlife chocolate milk.
He's going to need it.
Yeah.
Fairlife chocolate milk. Start fucking chugging.
Yeah, no, like, because he could be like a Tyreek Hill, very similar in a way where it might take him a year or two to really reach that height.
And I think also...
I think that's possible.
Yeah.
I think that's likely.
I think also that teams off the rip, like in the beginning of the year, are just going to want to stop that run game, because if they can get the run game going, you just know the Chiefs can win the game because their defense is that good. So I think they might be forced to maybe throw a little more earlier in the year. And they do play some of those tougher teams, so they could be trailing in some of those games too right off the bat. A couple deep trick plays to Worthy, they got those cooking up. He's got a 99 speed, or 98, sorry. We discussed that before.
Yeah, and the opportunities are there too, because with Hollywood Brown potentially missing maybe first 2-3 weeks of the year, and then Rashee, who knows what's going to happen there. There's definitely opportunity for him to be a clear-cut wide receiver one there to start.
Yeah, no, my hot take, and it's not my hot take, but my hot take is that nothing happens to Rashee Rice. It seems like he's going to just be perfectly fine from how long this has taken. Yeah. It really shouldn't have been that hard. Honestly, they had video of him leaving the scene. I don't know how it's that hard, but so
if he doesn't get suspended and Jordan Addison does, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, no, that's just that Chiefs luxury, man.
Dude, they're running the league.
Yeah, they also know that I need the draft for
because Taylor Swift probably loves Rashee Rice. Probably thinks he's a great guy. Just no judge. Don't arrest him.
She'll just fly him everywhere instead of letting him drive.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, who wants to go next? I'm going to nominate Tyler. You go next.
Aiden, did you give off your spiciest one? Did you do two in a row there, or?
No, that was just one. I was just going to come around to the end and do the other one.
Okay. Yeah.
Excuse me, I nominated you.
Oh, well, I was just wondering. Okay, my last and spiciest hot take is that we see historic record-breaking years from all of the running back position, the tight end position, and the wide receiver position. I think we're going to see the most touchdowns ever scored by a running back rushing is going to be broken this year by Derrick Henry. The most receiving yards are going to be caught by Dalton Kincaid in a single season for a tight end. And Tyreek Hill is going to break the all-time receiving record, single-season receiving record. Now, strap in, okay? Let me throw a little stat at you, okay? It goes by the title of Gus Edwards 2023 rushing touchdowns. Gus Edwards, known bum, Gus Edwards, scored 13 times on the ground, okay? And this is known bum Gus Edwards, okay? Gus Bus, formerly known as Gus Bus.
You don't have to do him like that, man.
He had just under 200 attempts and 800 yards in that offense. One of the best rushing offenses we've seen. Okay, they literally broke a record of most rushing yards, or most consecutive games of 100 yards rushing not too long ago. Now, the Ravens, with Lamar in that offensive line, you know who they bring in? Sam, remind the listeners. Who did the Ravens bring in?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry is correct, Sam. That's correct.
Yay.
And you know what Derrick Henry is especially good at?
Getting touchdowns.
Getting touchdowns. Derrick Henry is so good at getting touchdowns. Now, Lamar, here's a little ditty for you as well. Lamar is like the number 5 running or quarterback in terms of rushing attempts outside of the 10-yard line and outside of the 20-yard line. You know what happens when they get into 5 yards to touchdown? He falls all the way down to like 48th out of the eligible quarterbacks. They do not want to run with Lamar inside the 5. But you know who they do want to run with inside of the 5, Sam? The guy who's really good at scoring touchdowns. Who is it?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick King Henry. Okay, so I think he's got just a golden opportunity to break that record. For Dalton Kincaid, this is going to be the biggest stretch. I think you could rank a few tight ends above him, but with what we saw in his rookie year and the opportunity he has given himself now, well, not given himself, but the Bills have handed to him by vacating so many targets, I think, they have a bunch of kind of questionable wide receivers, but what we do know is Kincaid proved himself his rookie year. And I think with the team, you don't know how Joe Brady is going to want to run this offense. He kind of led on the run a lot last year, but say they kind of lean more to that pass side again. They do have Allen. I think a lot of those targets and a lot of those receptions are going to go to Kincaid. And then finally, I think, we've already discussed it, the most likely option in these is Tyreek Hill breaking that receiving record. And, he's held back by Tua. I think that's about it. If Tua can find it after getting paid, I think 2,000 yards is well within Tyreek's ability. So we're going to have a sort of triple crown in a sense, but a triple crown of record-breaking years on the offensive side of the ball.
Sorry.
So you go ahead. Go.
I love the sound of that. I hate to rain on the parade. I just think with this is because I agree with you. I want to see this every single year. It's just injuries, man. That's the one thing holding all of this back. Is just guys don't play full seasons anymore. Like that's why Tyreek didn't get it last year. He sat out like 1 week towards the end of the year to rest his ankle. I think the touchdowns, like if Derrick Henry can stay healthy, I would love to see that. It would be so much fun to watch him on that offense. But he's an old guy. He didn't get hurt last year, I don't think. But was it the year before?
Yeah, he had a foot cramp.
He had a foot injury.
Foot cramp. Yeah, that'll do it. But yeah, I don't know. I completely agree. I would love to see all that stuff. But I think just the one thing that always is going to stop it is injuries. And I hate to play that card because I don't want to see injuries. But
would you say, Hayden, that this is a spicy hot take?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I care about.
Yeah. No, that is a spicy hot take.
How fun would that be, though? Like, sorry, Sam, to interrupt, but I was just thinking, if you're a fantasy manager and you had all those 3 players on your team and that ended up coming true, that was a legendary season.
Legendary.
I can see Decker changing his draft strategy right now.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yep. And
I was take a peek at my 2021 fantasy team. Looks a lot like that.
Bro, talking about a fantasy team 3 years ago. Yikes.
Yeah. Talk about the team that won.
none of us have ever bragged about their fantasy teams.
Well, I brag about the ones that I've won.
Year? I won it that year, pal. My first year. Keep talking.
No, I don't think so. Sorry.
No, you're right.
You got proof?
Your team might have been good, but didn't have Sam.
You guys were all in the league.
I don't remember this. Anyways,
no,
I was. You know who I was thinking about other than King Henry was Saquon, simply on the fact that he's so much better than Swift. And if they decide to go away from the tush push now that Kelsey is gone, I think all those touches within, the 5-yard line are going to go to Saquon. And, a little fun fact here, Jalen Hurts had 15 rushing touchdowns last year. Okay?
He was on my team.
Let's say they now give those opportunities to Saquon. I mean, he inherits those alone. So I could see it with Saquon as well, but I think King Henry is just more likely to do it. So that's my steaming hot take.
Yeah, the receiving yards for both the wide receiver and the tight end, I think, are certainly, they're tough, but that's why it's spicy. I mean, but that 28 touchdowns, that's going to be really tough. But
is that what it is?
I like this. Yeah, it was Lenny and Tomlinson back in
That's
2006.
that's
He had
total
28 rushing
touchdowns. No, that
was total?
Yeah. It's only 22, I think.
I was gonna say that's
Jamal Williams
crazy.
broke it.
5?
No, that's total touchdowns.
Oh, it says here I was running for 28.
There's no way. Most
That is
I'm
an
pretty-
insane amount.
rushing
I'm pretty
touchdowns.
sure that's right.
No, because Jamal Williams broke it 2 years ago with the Lions.
No. Number 1 was LaDainian Tomlinson. He had 28. Sean Alexander in 2005 had 27.
What the hell am I thinking of then?
I know there was something about
that's- yeah.
Jamal Williams that was.
Yeah.
But I don't think. Yeah. I mean, obviously it wasn't that, unless
I
that
thought it was
article
just like a team
that
record.
Sam's looking.
Oh, that's what it
Yeah.
was, Sam. Yes.
Yeah.
Team.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
'cause
broke
I-
Barry Sanders. Yes. Thank you, Sam. Well done.
Of course. Yeah, I mean,
28
King
is
Henry,
crazy.
he totally. Yeah, that's a number that will be really tough to repeat. Because, I mean, that was like when offenses were going through running backs rather than going through quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I had him in
That's
fantasy
going to
that
be
year.
really tough.
I had LaDainian Tomlinson in fantasy that year, actually. I won it that year.
You were 5 years old.
I won it that year, actually.
No way.
I said, LaDainian Tomlinson for my first-round draft pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really impressive, Tyler.
Thank you.
Decker, give us that spicy take.
So mine kind of builds off Tyler a little bit. Thinking
Yeah.
that someone's gonna have a very generational type season in a way, but I'm gonna say that Bijan Robinson, who we have loved so far and loved the potential of this year with the new coaching staff, I think that he gets over 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards, and gets, I'll say, top 3 MVP. He's one of the top 3 MVP guys. Based off exactly what we've been talking about throughout the first couple episodes, in which he's going to be out there, should be out there a lot. He's going to be touching the ball a lot. He's going to have a lot of rushing attempts. Kirk, we know they'll probably incorporate the screen game, maybe a couple wheel routes for him. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity in the receiving game as well, and I think Bijan is going to be hungry to prove everybody wrong. From that kind of was how bad his rookie year was in a sense. Not his fault, Arthur Smith's fault, but I think he's going to put up over 2,000 total yards and get top 3 in the MVP race.
2 words.
Yeah.
Tyler
Algier.
Unfortunately, I hope he plays no role.
Yeah, I mean, I saw something from the Falcons' offensive coordinator that he really likes Algier, but I mean, other than him, if Algier happens to go down before the season starts, I would even venture to say 1,500 rushing yards, 1,000 receiving yards. But was the last running back to do this was the only other one ever was CMC in 2018?
I think McCaffrey,
yeah,
I was
2019.
I was gonna say 2019.
2019, yeah.
Yeah.
What did he have last year?
I don't
I
think
think
he
he
had
was
as
really
many
lacking in the
receiving yards.
Yeah, receiving was really lacking last year.
Yeah, I mean they had plenty of options to go to.
I
through
think
the
it was
air, so.
500 yards, maybe.
Okay.
So nothing crazy. Because like Tyler said, the only person that could really stop this from happening is Tyler Algier, because I think that, Bijan, if given the snap count, will be used a lot, and I think that will be very productive. It's just a matter of if they'll actually let him see the field as much as would be required.
Like, hopefully, like, it's like a 25 carries goes to Bijan, like 10, 15 LG or something like that. That'd be really nice.
That would be perfect. I mean, Bijan doesn't need a lot to put up a good stat line, so.
No, at the same time, like maybe we'd see the year start as more of a split backfield, but because Algier is still a good back, but it's like I can't imagine that he'll be nearly as efficient as Bijan will be, or nearly as electric of a player as Bijan will be. So
I guess my main point being is I just hope someone other than a quarterback wins an MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that too. That would be really nice.
I can't wait to see more of those. That Falcons social media page post those sick ass camera shots of like Bijan running through cuts and stuff. You guys remember those?
Those like the really
like
high
it
camera
locked
angle.
it locked on his like body, so it stayed in the center, but everything else, yeah. Keep
that must have been a really
well
bad
done.
team that they were playing when they got that shot. Must have been a bad team if he could stunt on them like that.
Also, give him a Toy Story game again. That was sick.
Oh yeah, I loved seeing Toy
my
Story
God.
Kyle Pitts when he put up 0
Yeah,
touchdowns
That was actually
again.
That was a crazy
actually really
experience, dude.
fun.
Yeah.
Burger on commentary
I was
again.
hungover
That
at
was
9 a.m.
so
watching toys move around on my TV screen, bro.
Yeah, as long as
Nothing
I've
like
got to
it.
see London, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Soon we'll be seeing plenty of London, you know. Some team might play there.
Ooh, yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, the Vikings do play there.
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, sorry.
The Giants
I know what you
relocating.
meant. Yeah. Oh,
That was kind of a
It's gonna go
pre hot
0-10.
take episode.
yeah,
hot
that could have
take.
been one of your hot takes today. Maybe it is one coming later. Who knows?
It is
But-
not.
Ah, darn. Okay, well, I'll say mine. Because I really like this one because I think it's really hot. Spicy, you could say. I believe that Rashid Shaheed will have 7 return touchdowns this season, breaking the NFL record currently held by new Hall of Famer Devin Hester. And this is based off of two facts that I would like to share. And it is the first being that last season, we saw a very low number of kick and punt returns last season. Last year it was Xavier Gibson of the New York Jets. He had 55 returns, which was the most in the NFL last year. Which it was then Devin Hester. In the season that he broke the record, he had 85 returns, which was 30 more than Mr. Gibson this past season. And I believe that this will be possible, that the amount of returns will go up due to the new kick return rules that are now going to be in play. I believe that with this rule change, we're going to see more returns, fewer touchbacks, and also this is going to allow a lot of special teamers to sort of scheme around better, and they're going to be able to make more fancy plays that will make more touchdowns possible. And Rashid Shaheed last year, he was a Pro Bowler. He was a first-team All-Pro return man. He was the best in the league in terms of yards gained per return. So I believe that with more returns happening now, we are going to see a 7 return touchdown season.
I mean, you laid it out really well there, Sam.
I
Thanks.
heard every
I have
word
a-
you said, and I just completely.
Yeah, I could tell you guys were paying attention.
I have a very strong memory of Rashid Shaheed and his returning capabilities. He housed one on the Packers last year, and I was at that game. And when he returned that punt and made it 17-0, I'm like, we have no hope. It's over. Jordan Love is a bust. We have been sent to the shadow realm. But then Jordan Love, I don't know if you guys remember this. Jordan Love came out that second half and balled, and we won. So, but yes, Rashid Shaheed certainly has the ability to do it. He's a very, very fast young man. And I'm excited for the new dynamic kick returns. I think that should be a welcome addition to the league. I like it. It's spicy.
Yeah. Thank you. 'Cause I think at the very least it's going to make watching kick returns so much more interesting because it's not going to see nearly as many touchbacks. Because a record-breaking season or not, I think it's going to be more fun to watch.
Yeah, it makes it. I mean, yeah, it's no longer we're gonna be like just sitting there on a kickoff and just be like, okay, we don't even need to do this. Just get the offense out there and put them at the 25. Like at least now we can be like, oh, there's potential here for a big play. So yeah, I like it, Sam.
Do you think?
Well, thank you.
If you could have any person in history to now be like in today's NFL and put back there as a kick returner, who would you want?
Oh, in today's NFL?
Yeah, as like for this new dynamic kickoff rules, who in history would you want, excluding Patterson and
Percy Harvin.
I was gonna
Devin Hester.
we'll say
I'm guessing,
Percy
as
Harvin,
well.
yeah, and Devin Hester.
I thought you were just saying Vikings guys because Sam would be biased.
Oh no.
Gosh, I mean, I feel like since this is gonna, from what I've seen of it, which is, I think, admittedly quite little, it seems that this is being schemed more as like actual running back plays, and in terms of highlights, Jess, one of the most dynamic running backs that I've ever seen would be Barry Sanders. So I think that he would work really well, or maybe even Bo Jackson could be a good choice as well. I think that would
I like
just
that.
somebody who was like really shifty.
Yeah, I like
I think
Dion.
that they
I
work
think
really
Dion
well.
would be good.
Yeah.
Prime, baby. All right, do we have just one more then?
Uno
Yeah, I
mas.
think that leaves us.
I
Okay.
think mine's a good one to just end it on. It's nothing with a lot of argument behind it. It's just something I think would be really cool to see.
Yeah, we'd hate
It's
to end with a
quite
bang.
hot. I think it's bang worthy.
Wait,
It's quite a
wait.
hot take.
Bang as in like bang or like bang.
Or like Mike Breen. It's like
Oh,
a Mike.
Mike-
It
Mike
would be a Mike Breen.
Is this
Mike Breen
Pierce?
calls Monday
Is this
football games.
Pierce
If
in the
he-
corner bang, or is this like Steph Curry makes like
This
his
is Steph
second
step
three in a row?
back.
Steph Curry from downtown.
Yeah. Step back.
Okay.
The double bang, if you will. That doesn't come out very often, but the Mike Breen double bang. He might
Gotcha.
be calling the Super Bowl when this happens. Who knows? But the Rams win the Super Bowl, and Stafford retires into the sunset as a legend, dude. Hottest take. What are the odds? I don't know.
I'm sure they're
They
not
got a
up there
hell of
for
an
a Super
offense.
Bowl.
Yeah. They got a hell of an offense if they stay healthy. I know we discussed that previously. And I think we've seen that Cup Stafford connection. Last year, Kyron just really looked like a true workhorse type guy if he can stay healthy. And I know I just mentioned the injuries literally on your take, Tyler. So, I got to bring him up here. That's a fair point. But just if the script is real, knock the Chiefs off that fucking three-peat and give Stafford his second ring. Just retire, man. Call it quits.
Yeah.
Stop
It would
hurting
be
yourself.
Storybook for the Southern boy.
It would
I
be.
mean,
Put
Where's
Stafford
the
in the
Super
Hall of
Bowl?
Fame.
Where's the
it's
Super
in
Bowl
New
this year?
Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay.
Yeah, it's not in Detroit. That would be way epic if it was.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
I
But
think
it's
that
not going to be
stadium-
Detroit until they get a new stadium.
Yeah, that stadium is trashed.
But yeah, put Stafford in the Hall. Put McVay in the Hall.
Oh yeah.
I
I mean, Cup
Yeah,
depending
McVay
on the
just might
season he
retire and
has.
become an analyst. Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that kind of tied into what I said earlier, that Darnold starts next year for the Rams if Stafford retires. It's all full circle type hot takes.
Yeah.
We love
Rams
that.
draft quarterback.
We love an
McVay
arc.
signs. Yeah, McVay signs Darnold after Darnold wins. Oh no, he can't win the Super Bowl this year. Fuck, because the Rams are.
That's right.
Damn, you hate to see it.
I think McVay and Stafford would retire together and then buy houses right next to each other so they could just live with
kiss
each other.
whenever they wanted. Yeah.
Or do that.
Yeah.
So
That would really be a storybook ending.
No argument, really. Just
here comes a
imagine
segue. Here comes a segue. Sam's about to
come on, Hayden.
talking about endings.
You cut off the segue. Yeah. Well, like every storyline, it has an ending. And with that, this is the end of this episode of the Moderately Athletic Podcast. I hope that you all have enjoyed listening.
A+.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody go get some
really
milk
hope-
because their tongues are so on fire from these
I
takes.
just got a notification
yeah.
on my laptop that it's getting too hot.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, it feels like the Sahara in this room right now from how hot it's been.
And Sam, where are you located?
Not in the Sahara, I'll tell you that much.
Well, where are you?
Well, anyways, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed listening. Comment down below who you think had the best hot takes. I'm not going to say anything because I think we all brought our best spiciness to this episode.
That's right. And get in the
I
comments
really
and guess Sam's address. We will give the correct
As
answer
if-
at the end of the week.
As if the people that watch this don't already know where he lives or listen to it.
So far.
So far.
So
That's
far.
true.
Yeah, so far. But yeah, anyways, guys, share this with your friends. Smash that like button. If you have any topics you'd like us to discuss, you can let us know at askmoderately@gmail.com. That is askmoderately@gmail.com. Or you can DM us on Instagram. We check that pretty often. But be sure to come back next week, because next week we're going to be doing a QB ranking quiz. We're going to be figuring out how we think the quarterbacks stack up for next season, as well as bringing you guys some fantasy football tips and tricks, letting you know how we think your draft should go. Well, anyways, guys, this has been fun. You have a good night, everybody.
Yes, sir.